Welcome back. Spring is here. That means more motorcyclists are out on the road. We're certainly seeing them now. Today, though, we're talking about motorcycle safety, and we have Merv Sadden joining us. He is a personal injury lawyer with Zach and Decker Injury Lawyers here in Kamloops. Great to have you back on the show.
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, certainly is the season. I'm seeing a lot more people out on the road now on their bikes.
As soon as you add some sun and you increase the temperature, the bikes start to come out, and more people are insuring their bikes. So yeah, we have to be more cognizant that they're on the road.
So quite appropriate then that May is Motorcycle Safety Month.
Every year, that's the dedicated month for motorcycle safety, and it's about bringing to everyone's attention and awareness that there's going to be motorcycles on the road again, because over the course of the winter, of course, the motorcycles aren't there. We forget that they're there, and it's important that we just remind everybody. So that's what May is all about.
Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month, as you can see on the screen. And we have some tips that you're going to talk to us about today during this segment about how to stay safe on the road.
Right, so they're just pretty common sense stuff, but they're great reminders as we start riding again for the year. So we broke it into 3 categories. We get some off-road riding tips. And when I say off-road, I don't mean necessarily single track stuff, back road kind of tips where there's less traffic and there's less people that might come along. So one of the first tips you see on the screen is make a plan and share the plan. If you're out and something happens and you're on a road less traveled, people don't find you, that can be a problem. So make sure you share your plan where you're going and then ride your plan. And if you don't show up, someone will be able to come and find you. The second one, ride with a buddy, and that just goes hand in hand with the first one. Something can happen to your bike, something can happen to you. You might need a hand moving something off the road, a windfall, that type of thing. So ride with a buddy, and it makes it more fun anyway. And then, of course, always wear the right gear. It's not just for collisions with cars. You might hit something on the road, you might go down. Always wear the right gear, wear your helmet, wear your jacket, wear your safety gear.
Of course. All right, and then we move on to the next one here.
So the next one is for on-road riders. So this is sort of dedicated to those folks traveling blacktop and in cities and stuff. So of course the number one, ride sober, and that just applies if you're behind the wheel or a set of handlebars, ride sober. Watch your speed, speed kills. The more speed, the greater the chance that you're going to injure yourself and the less time you have to react. So dedicated speeds aren't something that you always ride to. That's for perfect conditions, assuming the weather's right. So just watch your speed, and less speed is better. Riding at night just adds an extra degree of danger and risk. Other motorists might not see you. Animals, obstacles on the road, so just be cognizant of that. I personally don't ride at night. And wildlife, as a fact of life, at night, the animals come out.
Especially around here.
Yeah, for sure, and that applies to off-road riding as well.
Safety tips for motorists.
Right, so this has to do with the non-bikes on the road, and certainly in the month of May, and this is what this is all about, be alert to the fact that there's going to be bikes on the road. So really keep your eyes open, check your blind spots. I think sometimes we might get lazy and we look in our mirror and we'll think we'll pick up a vehicle if it's in the blind spot. A bike is small and you won't necessarily see it, so you don't want to injure somebody, I'm sure. So make sure that you really check your blind spots and do your proper shoulder check. Left turns at intersections are tricky. That just, anytime you're crossing a lane of travel, there's a potential for a collision. So whether you're going through an intersection, you're making a left turn across an opposing lane, somebody's making a left turn across your lane, just be cognizant if there's going to be crossing of lanes.
If I'm not mistaken, that is the #1 accident zone for motorcyclists, is it not? Where you are set to take a left turn or a motorist the other way, that is a high accident zone.
That's exactly right. People are focused on making their left turn, and they don't necessarily see a motorcycle like they see a car. And earlier in the season right now, it's a greater risk, and that's what this awareness is about, because we're not expecting the motorcycles. By August, we get more accustomed to it.
Okay, so we have some pledges we're going to move on to now. And those pledges, of course, are things that you want people on the road to think about when they're driving.
Yes, and so it's, you saw on the screen there, motorcycling.ca, and you can go to that site and you can actually take the pledge yourself, and whether you're a rider or you just have someone in your family that rides, or you ride as a passenger, you can take the pledge. And so there's the pledge you take as a motorist, as a motorcyclist, and it's on the screen for you to read, but it's really about endorsing a mentality of safety, watching your speed, riding with the proper gear, and just being committed to making sure that you have a safe destination and a safe arrival home.
Okay, let's move on to the next pledge. As a passenger, there's a pledge there as well.
Well, exactly, and so this has to do with getting on to a motorcycle as a passenger, so make sure you know who you're riding with. Make sure that that person's committed to safety, make sure they're committed to giving you a safe ride. Don't get on the bike without proper riding gear, so make sure that you've got riding gear that's appropriate and that it fits you. And of course, never get on a bike with someone that's not sober.
That's right.
As a motorist, so this again is for the cars and the non-motor cycles on the road. What you really want to focus on here is that you want to think about all of those individuals on those motorcycles as someone in your community, somebody that you know, someone that you love, and you want to be committed to making sure that you're interacting with them on the roads in a very safe manner. So be very cognizant of the fact that they're out there. And the final fourth part of the pledge is as a family or as a friend. And if you have someone that rides, you just want to make sure that you ensure that they are committed to safety, that they've got proper training, they're riding the proper gear, and that they're conducting themselves in a safe manner.
Fantastic. Again, May is Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month, and if you have any questions about this, if you'd like to get a hold of Merv, this is his area of specialization, that he represents people who have been injured in either car or motorcycle accidents, so certainly somebody you can talk to if you're looking for some advice. The information is on the screen, zachanddeckerlaw.com, as well with the phone number 372-1221. Merv, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, quick break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.